Let me just confirm the result for you. There it is of the Australian Grand Prix. 10 out of 10 for Michael Schumacher. A real good early scrap he had with one Pablo Montoya. Kimi Räikkönen, his first podium, 4 for Sauber. Eddie Irvine, goodness me, starting 19th and finishing 4th. And Mark Webber, a couple of points for Minardi and finishing in front of Mika Salo. And Paul Stoddart joins us. Great day for you, Paul. We're all so pleased for you.
Jim, I'm just the proudest guy in Australia today. I really am. I mean, you guys know more than anything how much I dreamed of something like this. And what a place to do it here in Australia.
You've done it in your home city, but take a deep breath and just tell us what 2 points means to your team, to Minardi.
Well, it means everything. I mean, it means TV money, it means, you know, top 10 position. I mean, here we are, start of the year, and already we've fulfilled our entire year's criteria. Jim, it doesn't get any better than this. The champagne's going to be flowing for a long time at Minardi tonight. The reception we've had, even Michael stopped to say to congratulate me. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. It just doesn't.
And for you to do it in your home city, the local boy made good. I mean, it's a fairy story, really.
It really is, and you know, it's been a long, hard road, but my God, I am so proud. I am so proud.
Now, be honest, Paul, when you came here, cracky, and you waved the flag when the jet landed and everything, but be honest to us, you can't have expected to score points here.
Well, I have to admit, yesterday I asked the crowd to do a rain dance in qualifying, and they did it, and then after that, bugger me, we've got these points. I mean, I just can't believe that it's just all. It is a dream. It's a dream. I mean, someone's going to have to pinch me and tell me that it's that it's not just a dream.
And what about what your man, another Australian, of course, Mark Webber, has done for you in his first Formula One race?
Well, he's really showed that my faith in him, both in 2000 and now, is justified. The guy is a Mark.
Yeah,
the guy is a real racer, and he's about to join us here. He can't hear you. It's Jim Rosenthal and teaching all the guys. Say hello.
Hi guys. What a day. I wish he was here. Unbelievable to finish my first Grand Prix in the points, and I've got to thank this guy here. He's trying to help this small team get to the front, and we've got to enjoy this moment, but we've got the rest of the season ahead of us as well, and this is a great start for us. Thanks.
Paul, just turn the interviewer down there for us and ask him about the scrap with Salo at the end and his feelings, could you?
How did you feel when Salo came up behind you and we said at any cost don't let him pass, and then you saw him spin in the background?
when you guys are saying don't let him pass, I'm going, hang on, we want a point, but we're fighting it. So I was a bit of a wounded bull at that stage. Obviously I had completely no diff pressure. I was worried about the slow corners because that's where I thought he would have got me. But I just kept my line, and I was going to make him work for it. Don't worry, get him on the marbles if I could or whatever. But he spun, so.
I have to say, Jim, there was a few cheers here in this pit lane when I love Mika. He's a great driver, but when he spun, I think this is one time nobody was too sorry to see it happen.
You've got the next one in a couple of weeks' time, both of you. You're going to be sometime leaving this city, though, aren't you?
I don't think either of us are going to move from here for a few days till we get through the celebrations first.
Tonight could be serious. I've got an early plane to catch, but I'll probably be missing that one, I think.
Listen,
all plane flights from Minardi are cancelled as of now for tonight.
Listen, we feel so good for you up here. Many congratulations, and we appreciate you joining us down there.
Anytime, guys, anytime. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. Well done, Paul. Okay, there we are. Let us go into the press conference, shall we, and see what the top three have to say about the Australian Grand Prix. Kimi Räikkönen, the McLaren point scorer here in Australia this afternoon. We'll be back with the views of Tony and Mark. We've got a lot to talk about. You're back with us in Melbourne before the first corner of the new season. A crash we estimated at £10 million worth of damage, and all those men, Mark, in their flying machines, you'd have to say.
They're definitely in the flying machines. I mean, this is the most unbelievable start, but for me, I will lay the blame clearly at Ralf Schumacher's doorstep. I don't know whether he didn't have his glasses on for that start or what, but for me, he should have backed away from Rubens. Rubens moved over a couple of times, sure, but he took the lead of the race. That's his position, that's his command. A little bit surprised that Ralf didn't move over to the left. He had plenty of room. He knew that Rubens wouldn't go for the inside line and still take the corner there at that kind of angle. So, to get airborne as well, I mean, he's so lucky, that guy, unbelievably lucky.
That was amazing, because if you remember, a mate of yours, Christian Fittipaldi, went up and over backwards like that at Monza in '93 and very, very nearly did the complete flip. All these other guys suffering as a consequence, both the Saubers out there, Fisichella involved, McNish out on his Grand Prix debut. The other thing is that how well the gravel trap did. I think, Mark, this was an amazing start, because he got the launch control works so well.
He's still changing up, Tony. Yeah, he's still accelerating. There's no way there that he was ever going to make the first turn at that kind of speed. For me, it was just a plain mistake.
How fast do you reckon he went into that gravel? Because it really arrested him. He came at the end into the barriers with not a lot of damage. It did its job as well.
I'll just say he's extremely lucky. I mean, very lucky.
Okay, and Jarno Trulli, I mean, we don't know these days whether it's driver error or what to do with Jarno Trulli, but he had it just looked like a spin, didn't it?
Well, our sources tell us that the traction control looked like it was a bit of an incident in terms of cutting out halfway through the corner, and that just shows you how reliant a modern day Grand Prix car is on it. To just spin off like that, he had a fairly heavy impact there as well at that point.
Yeah, because we saw it last year when the electronics take over the car, and then it just lets go and you lose the total grip.
But Mark, isn't every driver going to say now, not me, old governor, it's the electronics?
Well, the fashion down the pit lane is that the drivers never want to give up that they've made a mistake and so forth. But I have to say, in that instant, that doesn't look like a mistake by a driver. When you're in the corner and that far through the corner and something to go, it's normally a car error.
David Coulthard had a terrible time in that McLaren, and I think it's fair to say we can't blame him for what happened.
Well, we now know from the interview there with Louise that he was having glitches with the gearbox, and in terms of it downshifting, it caught him out and threw him off just when he was getting ready for the restart again. Off he goes and pitches him off the side track. He did well to keep it all together. We saw 3 other occasions during the race before his retirement when he got stuck in 6th gear that's what happened to him as well. For me, this was the move of the race. I mean, that was real Indy style.
Montoya past Michael Schumacher.
Exactly, and again, it just shows the experience what Montoya gained in IndyCar racing. They're very used to having those safety cars out on cool tyres, making the most of it. Very aggressive.
That was a terrific piece of action during the race, a terrific cameo. Those two really going at it, but it seemed to me only a matter of time, Mark, before Michael got by him.
Well, I mean, we knew Ferrari and Schumacher were a strong package all day long, Friday, Saturday, and what was different Sunday? Nothing. But the battle was on between Montoya and Schumacher, and I feel that it will get stronger and stronger as the season goes on. Michelin, Bridgestone, that's the big competition.
Well, this is what we wanted to see, and this is what everyone has been talking about over the winter. Juan Pablo Montoya, he started giving Schumacher a bloody nose as long ago as Brazil last year, and he had to stick really to the inside line there. He drifted wide. Michael Schumacher gets past him and gets into the lead. We knew that was inevitable, but this is a portent of things to come.
First of many
very
battles,
going to be exciting. Yeah.
I mean, before the start in our show, we had speechless Eddie Irvine. Lo and behold, he finishes it in the points and actually goes past David Coulthard at one point with that Jaguar.
No downforce whatsoever. It has to be said that the Jaguar R3 is significantly lighter than last year's car, but Eddie wouldn't have given himself a chance there, and there he goes through and scoring points. I mean, it's fair play. You've got to keep plugging away on these races of attrition.
Absolutely. Well, he was speechless, Eddie Irvine. He's got something to say now. And here he is, chatting to Louise Goodman.
Well, Eddie, I suppose today just goes to prove that dreams do come true.
To quote a song, how bizarre. Yeah, that was just incredible. I couldn't believe I think I was 5th at the first corner. That was our only hope, fill it and hope and pray. And I think Günther got a bit of beginner's luck today, so we got 3 points, but we can't rest on our laurels. That was... there's not going to be 11-12 cars out every first corner, so we got to really sit up and take notice and do something.
But nonetheless, that's a nice moral boost for the team, isn't it?
It's a nice 3 points to start the season with. Everyone knows how it came, so there's no illusions. We've a lot of work to do.
Very realistic there, Tony. That result camouflages a lot of things that are obviously wrong at Jaguar.
Yeah, but it gives them some breathing time, doesn't it? Because they've got to do some really hard work on this car. The problem is they've got these 3 flyaway races, as they call them, when they all put in the packing cases, not based in Europe. They're staying out all the way through to Brazil. They can't do that much development work, can they?
Yeah, they've only got a week or so left for testing as well, with the new regulations and so forth. But make the most of it, because that's not going to happen very often this season with Jaguar.
unfortunately.
And it's also not going to happen very often this season that Minardi get in the points, and the thousands of people leaving the circuit are absolutely chuffed to bits about that. But this little battle between Webber and Mika Salo, and the roar that went up when that happened was astonishing.
Well, Mika Salo was lining him up to try and make a move, but Mika made a rookie mistake, which he just went wide, blew the apex, and got on the marbles.
There's the Minardi garage. And they like a party down there, Tony, but you can see what they thought when Salo spun.
Well, Minardi haven't had a point since 2 years ago. I think Genet got a point at the European Grand Prix. The last Australian driver in '84, I think, was Dave Brabham, one of your mates and contemporary racers. And the last time an Australian scored a World Championship point would have been '86, Alan Jones in Italy.
And financially, what would it mean to Paul Stoddart, these couple of points? It's a big wedge early, isn't it?
It is a big wedge early. Look, they've been up on the podium as well. Stoddy's everywhere. You're right throughout this city tonight. And we say that unreservedly because we've hitched lifts on the European aviation planes. And
I think he'll be able to get another 747 with a bonus.
I think he will. We don't know how much they earn because that's all in the Concord Agreement. But we know it's that much that Paul Stoddart's prepared to fight for the money that earned last year when Prost had fallen out of the way significantly. To get points like that will mean a lot.
Sure. But we saw the Ferrari flags down there waving, and we have to talk about Michael Schumacher and just take a deep breath and realise how superior his Ferrari is at the moment.
And it's last year's car. I mean, how demoralising is that for the rest of the pit lane? I mean, everybody must be so depressed.
Second-hand motor, I think Ted Kravitz called it.
Oh yeah, well, Alpha Daily would have been proud of selling that one, wouldn't he? But it's an unbelievable achievement that Ferrari have done that with an old car. Yes, there's been evolutions, there's been the new engine modifications from the 2002 engine. It's scary, isn't it? They've got a new car coming out and it's going to be even quicker.
They say it's the best Ferrari ever, the new version, that is, but the old one doesn't go too badly. But was he a bit fortunate to avoid that stuff at the start, Michael Schumacher?
I think Michael is so aware, more aware than any other driver of the space around him and just, sort of the millimetres that he can use. And we watched him on that start from the aerial shot. He saw it all going on and he stayed to the left, out of the way, and managed to pick his way through. So he was acutely aware. But the other thing there is he probably realised it was his brother, and he knows that the parents, the Schumacher parents, cannot watch the start because they're so nervous on the television. They go out the room, so they'd have missed all of that, come back and seen the replay and go, oh my God,
Okay, just to sum things up, when we look back at the first race of 2002, what'll be your overriding memory?
I tell you, my overriding memory is domination by Schumacher, Mark Webber and Minardi, fantastic, but don't forget Toyota. To turn up at your first Grand Prix and actually finish a race, let alone score a point.
Tony?
For me, it will be Montoya and the fact that he's learned so much since he was here last time, in Australia, and he's going to be a threat this year.
Good. Tony, Mark, thank you very much indeed. Just to remind you that there is a rerun of the Australian Grand Prix around about 1:30 this lunchtime, and more reaction in that, and of course more reaction as well in our highlights program tonight. Everything happening right here on ITV1. That at 11:45 tonight. Well, there we are then. Mayhem before the first corner. Just 8 finishers. We saw precious and very emotional points for the Minardi team, Paul Stoddart and Mark Webber. But in the end, the favourite has come home in Melbourne. That's the story from Australia. Good night.
If you'd like to know more about Formula One, the website address, sponsored by Toyota, is itv.com/F1.